In today's video, I'm going to give you the top 5 features why Peloton beats Soulcycle hands down. Well guys, I've had the Soulcycle and the Peloton for a few months in my house, and the time has come. One of them has got to go. Reason number 1, I'm keeping the Peloton. Computerized resistance. Having a computerized resistance knob that tells me exactly where my resistance is, workout after workout after workout, is awesome. I didn't even know about computerized resistance until we had the Peloton. In every other bike that I've ever owned, whether it's Soulcycle or any other fitness bike, I'm always cranking on that resistance, and I never really have any benchmarks to compare anything to. The Peloton has this computerized resistance knob, and you turn it and it automatically adjusts. And so it always goes back to that same spot. 55% is always 55% of resistance. And that creates benchmarks. In fact, Peloton has so much data and benchmarks. That's item number 2. Whenever I'm riding on a Peloton bike, I can see what is my average cadence? What is my max cadence? What is my lowest cadence? And I see those averages and maxes for everything from resistance to watts, output. There's just so much data. I always know what my hardest workouts were. There's no question. There's no guessing like there is with typical other bikes, like Soulcycle, which for me is really frustrating because this bike is really nice. It's the only thing it's missing is all the data that goes along with it. It's got most of the brains and the equipment to do it. It just doesn't present it well. I think that was a huge miss on Soulcycle's part. I think their target audience are people that really just want to go and have fun exercising and really don't necessarily look for improvement. But I exercise to improve. End of story. That's why I'm exercising, is to improve or to maintain and get stronger. There's so many benchmarks on the Peloton. I'll give you one example. When I go into a ride or to a class, it shows me what my best output is for that type of a class, 20-minute, 30-minute, 40-minute class. And it gives me a pace. And it says, hey, you're on pace to beat that best or you're off that pace. And so I know kind of how hard I have to push myself to equal my last best output or to like blow it out of the water and just crush the workout. And that's what I want to know. I want to know, did I work hard on that workout? And sometimes these other bikes just left me guessing. I love knowing how hard I'm working and how that effort compares to previous efforts. So benchmarks, personal bests, PRs, everything is on the Peloton and I love it. I absolutely love knowing how hard I'm working in comparison to previous efforts. Item number 3 is the ability to challenge your friends. This is something I didn't even know the Peloton had until a friend of mine saw Strava and said, hey, you've got a Peloton. What's your name? I want to ride against you. And so that's what we've been doing, is we've been riding against each other. I kind of compare it back to 10, 15 years ago when all of my friends wanted to play Mario Kart on the Wii. This is kind of like a grown-ups video game, right? Where those of us that are really into cycling and fitness can ride and challenge our friends. So even though I'm kind of riding here in my basement alone, I have my friends who I know how strong they are compared to me, and we can work hard and kind of challenge and be competitive with one another. Soulcycle, their philosophy was, let's not worry about the competitive folks, but I love being competitive. It's fun. It's a game. That's why I signed up for sports when I was a kid. It's why I'm still doing some of these cycling events and races into my 40s. So I like being competitive. It motivates me to work harder. And being competitive with your friends is just a way to get closer. And we all love it. My friends that have a Peloton all say how much they love their bike. They don't regret buying it. And being able to ride with each other is just icing on the cake. Along with being able to ride with each other, I love the leaderboards. Whether it's my friends that I know or people that I don't, it's always nice to see who else is kind of in that class with me and see how hard I have to work to beat those people. And the fact that I can still give them high fives while I do it is really fun. Listen, Peloton's not the only ones to figure this out. CrossFit and lots of other gyms have figured out that leaderboards are motivational. They really do work. They're not great all the time. In fact, there's definitely rides where I will turn it off. But when I'm feeling good and I want extra motivation, man, I turn that thing on and I see who's around me, who's done about the same amount of the classes I have done, and I just try to figure out how can I work harder to beat that one person. Last but not least, item number 5, the instructors on Peloton are hands down, by and large, head and shoulders, and every other comparison metaphor I can come up with, better than these guys. The Soulcycle group just let me down over and over. I couldn't find any instructors that I really liked. They just weren't into coaching and fitness and motivation the way that I would like to see it. It was a lot of fluff, quite frankly, and I just don't need more fluff in my life. I want to be coached by the best, and there is no question about it. Matt Wilpers, Dennis Morton, and some of the other instructors they have on Peloton are the best instructors I've seen. Now, call it culture, call it whatever you want. I did not like, and I put this in my last video, some of the conversations and topics that were discussed in Soulcycle. They were not family friendly. They were not general public friendly, in my opinion. There are a few instructors on Soulcycle that I would follow anywhere. There's Matt Wilpers and Dennis Morton and a handful of others that just are athletes at heart, know how to train an athlete, have experience coaching, know how to talk about fitness, motivation. They coach you through kind of what you need to do with your body, how you need to handle your power levels, your training cycles, your motivation, your mental fortitude. I just can't say enough good things. Peloton has hit a home run with some of the instructors that they have. If you're a cyclist or an athlete who's serious about fitness, I don't think this is a serious fitness bike. I think this is. I think the Peloton all day long wins. The Soulcycle is so set on the dance moves and the rhythms and the beats, and when they show you their data screens, there's really not a lot of the output and the data that Soulcycle has. The power zone training on the Soulcycle, man, I'm totally off topic again. The power zone training is awesome. You do a power zone test, and then it calculates your functional threshold power and tries to help you figure out how can you set yourself up so that you can ride with sustained power zones for sustained periods of time and get stronger. Either make those power zones higher or longer, and I love that. When I got done with any of my Soulcycle rides, the biggest achievement they could show me was whether or not I stayed on the beat. And like, the beat's great and all, the dance moves are fun, but I don't get on a bike to dance. I get on a bike to ride, cover distance, and get fit. So there you have it, guys. I am on the Peloton. This bike is about to go away. It's got to get out of this room so I can make room for something else, my next iteration of how I'm gonna outfit my home gym. If you found this interesting or helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you think I'm totally wrong, let me know in the comments. And we'll see you guys in the next video.